Welcome back to GDT Tech Reviews. In this video we are going to do a detailed review and pick the top 5 best budget DSLR cameras 2022. So let us get started and the review based on our studies and small research. If you have any personal suggestion, do let us know in the comment section. If you are for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon for more videos. We will be also providing affiliates link to purchase from Amazon. Kindly use to for best offers and purchase from anywhere in the world. So let's get started. The new EOS Rebel T7 is one of the smaller DSLRs on the market. It weighs 1.75 pounds, with a battery and SD card, and measures 5.1 by 3.9 by 3.1 inches. The grip is wrapped in textured rubber for a solid and comfortable handhold. The T7's body is otherwise mostly plastic, but the modest build quality is not surprising given the camera's price. The camera's pop-up flash covers a distance of up to 30 feet, but it's most effective if your subject is within 15 feet. If you need more light, you may want to pick up an external flash. Flash exposure compensation is available for the in-camera and accessory flashes and comes in handy if you need to adjust the exposure. Both the optical viewfinder and the 3-inch LCD are relatively bright and clear, though the display is fixed and lacks a touchscreen. During testing, I didn't miss either feature, but if they're important to you, check out the $800 Canon EOS Rebel T7i kit, which has both features, among other upgrades, and an 18-55mm lens. Canon's EOS Rebel series has long been a favorite of those who want an affordable but capable DSLR. The T7 continues to deliver good image quality for a camera in its class. Under well-lit conditions, the camera consistently produced pleasing results, almost guaranteeing success straight out of the box. The Canon EOS Rebel SL3 is an APS-C DSLR camera that's compact and easy to use. It takes decently sharp images, has a reasonably effective autofocus system, and is fitted with a responsive, fully articulated touchscreen interface. It offers a wide range of ports and connectivity options for videographers and can shoot 4K and FHD video. Unfortunately, the image and video stabilization performance isn't especially impressive overall, so you may need to use a tripod for some shots, and the video quality is mediocre in 4K. The Canon SL3 is decent for landscape photography. It keeps noise and graininess in images to a fairly low level, even when using moderately high ISO settings. Its fully articulated screen is bright enough to be seen in direct sunlight. While it's relatively compact for a traditional DSLR, those accustomed to using point-and-shoots or phones to take pictures may find it a little bulky and tricky to carry around on a hike. Command dials, mode wheel, and buttons operate smoothly and precisely. Features a mostly plastic construction. Articulated screen hinge doesn't feel very solid. Input door is covered by a rubber flap. No cover for the camera's hot shoe. Canon EOS Rebel SL3 body FS 18-55mm f/4 to 5.6 is STM lens covers shoulder strap 1XL PE17 battery charger. Owner's manual. Rubber eye cup around the viewfinder feels comfortable and well padded. Hand grip should accommodate a wide variety of hand sizes, without fingers getting pinched between the body and lens. Hand grip has a textured surface that provides a secure hold. Adjusting aperture and ISO requires multiple button presses, as these settings can't be changed using only the command dials. SD card can't be changed while the camera is mounted on a tripod due to bottom hinged compartment door. As far as features go, the specs for the D5600 are pretty much identical to those of the D5500. Resolution remains the same at a decent 24.2 MP, with the APS-C sized CMOS sensor again shunning an optical low-pass filter in the quest to pull out even more detail from the data recorded. The D5600 also uses the same XPET-4 image processor, with a native sensitivity range running from ISO 100 to 25,600, meaning it should be quite comfortable shooting in a range of lighting conditions. The optical viewfinder provides coverage of 95% of the frame, pretty standard on an entry-level DSLR, so for some key shots you may want to double-check the composition on the rear display to ensure that nothing unwanted has crept into the extreme edges of the frame. Speaking of the display, there's the same 3.2-inch vari-angle touchscreen display with a 1,037,000 dot resolution, although its operation has been improved. It now offers the frame advance bar we've seen on both the D5 and D500 to speed up toggling through images, as well as a crop function for use during playback. While 4K video is pretty much a standard specification in 2021, when the D5600 was introduced it was often reserved for more premium offerings. As such, you won't find it here, with Nikon sticking to 1080p capture. You get a choice of 60p, 50p, 30p, 25p and 24p frame rates, so unless you're a hardened filmmaker, there's probably plenty here to be going on with. You can even use a dedicated microphone if you wish, with a dedicated 2.5mm port on the side of the camera. As we've touched on, the most pronounced difference between the D5500 and D5600 is the inclusion of Nikon Snap Bridge connectivity. One thing that the EOS Rebel T8i, EOS 850D has in its favor is a rapid and reliable autofocus system. It's Canon's famous dual pixel phase detection AF that works very well for both photography and video. In the EOS Rebel T8i, EOS 850D's viewfinder mode, it's still a 45-point AF array, and all of those points are the more sensitive cross-type. Switch to the live view mode and it's a 143-point array that covers a broader area of the frame with IAF chucked in, just like in the Canon EOS M50. There is a choice between single shot, mixed action and full action AF modes, with an additional choice of the AF area, including single point, zone, small or large, plus auto. We found the small zone AF mode works a treat for general action, and in viewfinder mode the zone area can be quickly selected using either dial, or by touch in live view mode. Autofocus behavior is different in the 4K video mode to Full HD video, and that's because you lose dual pixel phase detection AF. Instead, it's the less effective contrast detection AF which is more prone to focus hunting. It's a further sour point to 4K video here. With the 5-axis digital image stabilization active in its standard mode, smooth-looking handheld panning shots are easy to get. In the enhanced mode, stabilization performs impressively well when walking with the camera in hand, although it is no gimbal. Remember, there is a significant crop factor introduced with stabilization active, so 4K selfie vlogging is not really an option. For photography, many of Canon's lenses offer optical stabilization, including the 18 to 55mm kit lens. We tried this kit lens at various focal lengths and in general found stabilization to be effective to around 3.5 ev. The effectiveness of stabilization does depend on the lens, so you might have a different experience. We tested the high-speed continuous shooting mode which, as already mentioned, has a rate of 7 fps using the mechanical shutter and 7.5 fps when using the electronic shutter. In either shutter mode, using a UHS-IU3 card we managed around 55 RAW and JPEG shots before the camera stopped, with a wait time of around 15 seconds to buffer all of those images for the camera to fully function again. That's a reasonable performance, making the EOS Rebel T8i, EOS 850D a decent sidekick for action shots. The Nikon D3500 is a 24-megapixel entry-level DSLR with an APS-C CMOS sensor that is cheaper, lighter, and has a longer battery life than the D3400 that it replaced. It was designed with the new photographer in mind and features a guide mode that will essentially teach you how to shoot in various situations. The D3500's guide mode puts it into an easy-to-use space in the market. This mode makes it easy to tell the camera what kind of scene you are trying to capture and essentially teaches you the basics of photography, such as shutter speed, aperture and exposure compensation along the way. This is a camera that a brand new photographer can pick up and start making decent pictures without a steep learning curve. Face detection AF only works in live view mode, where the rear screen is used to frame up your photo, instead of the viewfinder, and although it reacts quickly in sunny conditions, indoors it got laggy, seemed to have trouble keeping up. There is no touchscreen functionality on the 921K LCD screen, which can be a little frustrating if you're used to shooting mirrorless or with a phone. Another unfamiliar, but minor, annoyance could be that the optical viewfinder only covers 95% of the frame. It's pretty standard for an entry-level DSLR like this, but means it's hard to precisely judge what is and isn't in the edges of your photo.